Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Stephen here, and I'm videoing this piece because we're making history. We're now in the last interview of the 24-hour cycle of TVC Live and the Heart Brand sessions. And what better way to bring it to a close than to bring on Harmony Garcia, who is the bro.
Hello. How you doing, Harmony? Hi, how's everybody doing? Wow, last but not least, right?
Saving the best to the last, I think they call that.
I love that. I'm honored. I'm honored to be a part of this. I've been looking forward to this all day, and with all the excitement, thank you for having me. Was honored that you guys asked me.
An absolute, you do great. You are empowering people from in here. We connected via a good friend of ours with regards to podcasting and stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I love your energy. I love what you're about. Yeah. Let's bring you on. Let's see if we can make that happen. Have a conversation. You know, you brought her into the group as well, and I'm just like, let's pay it forward. Let's share with your stuff. And I believe so. Hang on, before I jump in, introduce yourself. Tell people a bit more about you from perspective, and then tell us all about the great thing that's happened today.
Okay, I will. So I'm Harmony. Hi, everybody. A lot of you should know me by now because I try to be in there and be loud with my videos, but I am Harmony. I'm the Bliss Broker. I am in Asheville, North Carolina, United States, and I was connected with Stephen through a podcasting accountability group, fell in love with him, and then through the quarantine started watching everything he was doing, and I was like, this is a real community here. What a really good way and a solid way for me to come in here and exercise my abilities and sharpen my abilities, because what I do is I help people with confidence. I help women, and I think I inspire both men and women. I know that from my podcasting group because I'm the only girl in there. But I just feel like I want to give people a voice. I want to help people bring out that fire that's in their belly. I lived my life very long, suppressed and scared to speak up to who I was, about who I really was and what I really wanted. And I want to help women do that. I want to help women specifically. That is my target audience, is women. Just letting them know that they can live a vivid life. I want to, in a nutshell, help them find their spark, chase that spark, and ultimately live vividly, to live a life that is meaningful, a life that they fantasize about in the quiet part of their mind. So that's what I do as the Bliss Broker. I consider myself a wellness and confidence coach. I'm very excited about doing it. And today opened up the applications for my very first accountability group. We run from August 10th to October 10th, which is my 45th birthday. So I couldn't think of a better way to close out my 45th birthday and celebrate my 45th birthday than with the first official round of accountability women that have changed their lives with me. So I'm very excited about it.
That is cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
So how did it all happen for you? What was that light bulb moment?
I think that light bulb moment was just being sick of my own, I mean, I just have lived a very full life. I got to a point where I was sick of hearing the stories that I was moaning about to other people. Hi, Andrew. I was just sick of hearing myself like I was on repeat, and it just took me saying it one too many times to go, okay, I've got to do something about this. So I quit playing the victim, essentially. I quit pointing the finger at everybody else and how people were hurting me, and I was in these bad relationships. And I started realizing that I'm the common denominator. I am the common thread in a lot of these situations. And that didn't mean to blame myself. It just meant it was time to start taking a real personal look at why these things were happening to me, which meant I had to do what I call in my one of the things I'm going to be offering women is some baggage mining. So that means that is like a fun and adventurous way to go in and pull out the things that have happened to you that we tend to suppress, and we tend to, sweep under the rug. It's a lot, a lot of us don't want to show that vulnerability, and we think out of sight, out of mind. But in reality, after living, I'm 44. So it took me until probably started personal development loosely about 10 years ago. And so about 5 years ago is when the real work started, and then really crazy work over the last year and a half. But I really had to find out why I was allowing no boundaries in my life. I was trying to be in relationships with people, and I was striving for their validation, but these were people that didn't even really love themselves. So they weren't going to give me validation. Right. So I had to learn what was holding me back. Why was I scared to move forward into who I really was? And once I started doing that work, as you know, when you become enlightened, you want to tell everybody. And so when I started doing the work and showing up for myself and, exercising and really operating under a place of self-care, the self-love organically came, and it was really compounding. Like the more I showed up for myself, Stephen, the more I wanted to show up for myself. And then in turn, organically, I wanted to show up for other people, because I wanted to tell people, like, come in, the water's fine. Like, you can do this. You can have the life that you really want to live. It's just going to require a little bit of work, and it's going to require you going inside of yourself and asking yourself really hard questions. And it's empowered me. Like, I'm so excited about the women, even up to this point, the women's lives and men that I've helped inspire to show up for themselves through my social media or through my podcasting. Every morning I wake up to an email from somebody just thanking me for showing up, thanking me for talking openly about domestic abuse or drug addiction or, any of the situations that I have found myself in. And that makes me want to do it even that much more, because I don't want somebody to look at me and say, oh, Harmony's got it together. She's so, I need them to know why I'm doing this. So I have had to be very clear on my intentions for becoming the bliss broker and why I want to show up and why I do show up the way that I do. I don't post my runs and my meals and all these conversations on IGTV because I'm trying to be popular or get the fanfare. I'm showing up because I want to show people that you can be in a really nasty place in your life and feel really, really terrible about yourself, but you can come back from that too. Tomorrow is always a new day. And so it doesn't matter where you come from, how much money you had. None of that matters. Tomorrow is always a new day for you to take control of your life and realize, this was very important to me in my growth, that I was in the driver's seat. I didn't have to wake up every day hoping and praying that something good would happen. I could control that. I could control that vehicle. And once I started understanding neuroplasticity and that we can literally scientifically change the way we think about ourselves and our lives, I was like on fire. I was like, I have to talk about it. There's no way I can get up and not talk about it, because I feel like I'm holding on to a little secret. And I think if I show up, because we are, we lead by example. We're a monkey see, monkey do society. And when you look over and you see somebody that is doing the things that you aspire to do, regardless of what that is, and you see them showing up, then you naturally, or like subconsciously even, are like, well, she did it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's my responsibility to show up and throw myself under the bus and talk about all the terrible things that have happened to me and how I used to be overweight and self-medicating with booze and smoke cigarettes. I mean, that was my day. I would go to work and I'd come home and I would turn on some music and I would drink and usually get drunk, and I'd wake up every day with a hangover. And all through that, I had a good life. I mean, I've been happy. It's just part of my character, but I wasn't really happy. I had hurts right under the surface. And so I want to help people move through that. I really, really do.
So why do you think, how do I put this? Because as I'm thinking to ask the question, I'm starting to answer it in my own head, but I want to hear it from you. People want to achieve that. They want to get to that higher state. They want to, people want to they want the outcome. They want, I want to feel better about myself. I want the confidence, this and the other. Why do you think they don't do it?
Because it's scary. It's putting ourselves into a different realm that's uncomfortable, that we have all these ideas around what's going to happen. What's that going to look like? And not only that, we're fearful of leaving people behind. I mean, that's a very valid fear. Like if you're in a relationship with somebody, say you've been married, and you've been married 10 years and you're in a place where you want to start evolving, and you look at your partner like they're kind of stagnant. They're not going to understand what I'm doing. And maybe, how it is, people on the outside looking in, they like to be bubble busters, as I like to say. You come to them with your dreams and they're immediately like, that's not going to work. Yep. Why would you think you can do something like that? Because they're projecting, Yep. So, and then again, that literal fear of you leaving somebody behind. Like if I start striving for greatness and I succeed, am I gonna ostracize my husband? Am I gonna ostracize my children, my family? Are my friends gonna think I'm acting like I'm better than them? Like it's a very real, valid, legitimate reason to not move forward into greatness. And I can honestly say I felt that a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of friends of mine that I've lost and they've gone by the wayside because a lot of the way that we bonded was by moaning about our lives. We would get together at happy hour and we would have drinks and hi Jason. And we would just moan about our lives, and that there's a time and a place for that. I mean, we naturally do that as human beings, but it was a everyday thing for us. Like, we moaned every day. And when I quit moaning and I started taking action, what that does is it highlights to the people that are around you that related to you, because you were both kind of down and out and not in a really good place in your life and in survival mode. When you start stepping into greatness, it really organically highlights their flaws for them. And they start getting nasty and they start getting catty. And then, so the best thing to do is to just like keep those things that you want to do under wraps, unless it's with the community that you really can trust, like Tea with Steve. Like, this is a place that I can come where everybody understands growth and entrepreneurship. But don't tell too many people. Kind of keep it close to your heart until you were ready to pull the trigger. Move through all of that stuff. Have a conversation with yourself. Meditate on it. Journal on it. But know that it is okay to step into greatness. And most of what you're thinking and what you're foreshadowing about isn't going to be as bad as you are expecting it to be. That's fear talking. Our brains are naturally designed to keep us in a common state, like in a typical state. It wants habit all the time. And you've got to outsmart your brain. Basically, you've got to outsmart it and say, no, I'm doing this. I know you're telling me I'm going to fail and I'm going to hurt people's feelings and it's going to be this ugly train wreck and I'm going to wish I never did it. Those are all lies, by the way.
Do you know what? It's really interesting what you just said there, because I completely resonate with the point where you said about leaving people behind. Now, earlier on, I brought my daughter Summer on, and she was on an interview. We literally sat side by side. It was a bit of a giggle for 15 to 20 minutes. I wanted to bring her on because to give her insight around. Yeah, to give her insight to others about having a dad that spends time online like I do.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I was like, can you? Because there's people who want to spend the amount of time that I do online. They want to connect with their audience, but they're conscious about what other people will think. And my thought was, if you can get your kids on side, then it's another matter. And Summer shared, what it was like. It was a bit weird to start off because all her friends and people at school were saying. They said, that guy Big Daddy, is he your brother? And I was cracking up because she said that to me in her kitchen one day, in my ex-wife's house. So that was a high five moment for me.
Love that.
But what you said about leaving people behind, and something that's now triggering me with that conversation I had with her, was I would never have been able to do what I do now if I was still married to her mum.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just wasn't the relationship. It wasn't, she doesn't get what I do now.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand. And that's not a negative towards her. It's just not her thing. And also she likes to be, it's funny. She likes to be, she is a natural extrovert.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm actually an introvert.
Yeah. Same.
I'm people think, oh, I must be extroverted to come online. And it's no, I've just found something that I'm comfortable with because I'm really comfortable with who I am now.
Right. Yeah, that's the key.
People think that when I come online and I'm talking this and I'm talking that, there's a level of arrogance and say, no, not at all. My ego protects me, but I actually like who I am.
Yeah.
It's taken a long time to get there.
Yeah.
I've had the knocks and this, that, and the other, and been in the relationships and been, power hungry bosses and all of that. But when I actually went on my self-development journey, so 8-9 years ago, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to leave this company because I'm sick of making money for that man who doesn't appreciate what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It was really, really powerful.
Did you, like those people who said that you were being arrogant, are they people that were close to you, or, I mean, No. Okay. Yeah. So they were projecting too, probably. I mean, it does come across as arrogant, but it only comes across as arrogance to people who deep down probably are admiring what you're doing. And they maybe, I mean, jealousy is a big thing when it comes to personal development. And that's why this community you've created, I talk about it a lot. I'm sure with everything you've going on, you probably haven't heard my episodes, but I think Tea with Steve and Mark Jeffrey and my podcasting accountability all start, they come up every episode because they're such a big part of my life.
Yeah. Thank you.
I look forward to showing up on Tea with Steve. It's a guaranteed support situation. And it really, as you know, is super hard to find people who understand what you're talking about. And you talk about personal. I mean, I've had my husband even said, why? I just don't. He was polite about it, but he's like, I just don't understand why you post when you run and your food and like you're doing all that. He understood my podcast, but I don't know that he understood why I was making my life so obvious online, you know? And now that he sees everything come into fruition, he's like, oh, I get it now. Like it's just in you. It's something that makes you really happy. Hi there. I love it. Harmonize. That must be one of my podcasting all-stars buddies. And so it really is. It's just, you know, it's what you do. You just want to show up and you want to help people. And unless you know that, unless you have lived that and you feel that in your bones from the inside out, it's hard to get the people look at you like you've got three heads. When you say anything about entrepreneurship or personal development or growth or self-actualization or any of those things, they're like, what? Why? I don't get it. Like what? And so in Tea with Steve, that support is in there because we're all fighting for our dreams. We're all waking up every day and we're all having the courage to chase after the things that are our heart brand. And it's been very important to find this community. And without community, which is why I created my accountability group, a like-minded accountability group, you know, like-minded community, I don't know that I would be where I am right now. Honestly, I really don't.
I totally agree. And it's been a journey for me with Tea with Steve. You know, there was a period in my time with Tea with Steve. It's like, you know what? I'm not getting this right. I didn't think I was getting it right. But what I had to sit back and reflect and appreciate the fact that, do you know what? People are not going to come into your group when the sun is shining and they're off with their family.
Yeah.
And you have to allow people to come in as and when they want to. Yeah. And I'm very much of the mind that, you know, people say to me, oh, I've not done the video. It's not a problem. If you've got other things going on, I do not expect you to show up every day and be in there and do the challenge 24/7. But what I do expect is when you're ready and you've got something to give, come and give it. Because you will impact so many lives. Yeah. Even if it's just, you know what, this challenge today is about to give you, I don't know, I've got to do 60 seconds on my office or my backstory. But actually today I can't be asked because I'm having a bad day. Share that.
Yeah, love it. Document your journey. Yeah, document your journey.
The suggestions when we do challenges and that are actually suggestions. It's not a you must do. It's I'm going to ask you to do it. But if you've got something else that's more poignant right then and is going to resonate with people, or you're having a crap day and someone else has mentioned, oh, I can't do this because, and that resonates, do the video on that. Give the value to the person who needs it. Help those people.
Well, that's what it's all truth, right? It's all like Mr. Gary Vee says, don't try to create content, document your journey. And so that's what I do. That's what I've done. Like with this launch of my very first paid accountability group, this is literally the first time in my whole building of my foundation that I've put an offer out that I'm expecting money in return.
Okay.
And me as a trained bartender for 20 plus years, I own a house cleaning company, you know, like I have been part of a lifestyle since I was wee little, that is you provide a physical service, they give you money. So when you're switching gears and you're moving into a place of, wait, I'm going to use my brain, I'm going to offer you what I know, my life lessons, the benefits of my college degree, all those things. And it's like invisible, I'm going to send it to your brain and I'm going to teach you how to live a better life. And then I want money. It's weird. It's like imposter syndrome creeps in major.
Yeah, I get it.
But I've been documenting that. I've been putting out a video every day this week about how I feel. I'm scared. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm humbled. Like I'm just walking everybody through it with me. Yeah. You know, and being very transparent and authentic. And it's really worked. Like it's really because then I don't have to overthink it. I can just show up as Harmony and I can be clear with them about why I've created this accountability group and let the cards fall where they may and just trust the process, you know?
And that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The journey is a huge part of it. It's a huge part of the business. It's a huge part of your own growth.
Yeah.
I bring sales and marketing in as when I describe it, it's different because that's what the world believe. But for me, sales and marketing are one and the same. It's growth rather than sales and marketing.
Right.
So when you're sharing that process and you're showing these processes and you're saying, you know, it's expected once you're building a brand that at some point, if you provide enough value and you share an offer, therefore someone will buy something from you, or at least show the interest in it to say, actually, yes, I would like to do that, or actually it's not right for me now.
Yeah.
You know, we were due to launch the Heart Brand Academy in February.
Right.
And we held off from launching that because what I saw happening with China and COVID, I thought if this kicks off, I don't want my kids to knew what was coming. We work with some great people in economics and business specialists. I don't want my community to panic, buy the product, and then think it's going to solve the problem because it's comfortable. TWC is safe. It's nurturing. Yeah. I didn't want them to do that. And then in 2 months down the line, said, well, that doesn't work. It's not fixed my problem. Well, no, it's not going to fix coronavirus. What it's going to do, though, is it's going to help you build a personal brand over this recession.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why we've held it off. And that's why we've had different challenges in TWC. We've done week-long challenges, a month challenge. And we've introduced Q&A Tuesday to get feedback. And then we did our webinar series to give back to the community, because actually, although I wouldn't say that the world is not buying right now, they're very cautious, and they're hunkering down. Yeah. So if we can teach people the 9 secrets of social media sales and put that into a webinar series as a gift, it gives more support to the community. And therefore, as things start to come out, they've got some tools to use to actually say, do you know what, I can make sales in my business now because I've got the tools, the skill set, and people are starting to feel a bit more comfortable about it. Yeah. That's why we held off. It launches on Monday, you know, and everyone says to us, you know, people said to me, what's the price? There is zero price on it. It's an investment. Yeah. If you think if you think there is a price on the product or the service of the community, because it's a subscription model. Yeah. If you think there's a price, it's not right for you now. Yeah, absolutely. Stay in TWC, get the free content that's in there. And when it's right for you, when the doors open again, then by all means come in. Yeah. You know, and then I've had that, and they go, okay, yeah, I get that. And there's people saying to me, it's not if it's an investment, there's a conversation to be had. Right. Absolutely. And that's what I would say to anybody who's watching. If people understand through your content, through your relationship, your nurturing and things like that, that actually when you launch your product, that it's an investment in themselves, not in me, it's an investment in you, investment in, you know, Andrew and Jason or whoever else is watching. It's an investment in them. And then when we have the price conversation, people actually fall over when I say, actually, the investment in you is £29. Yeah. 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 It's a £29 a month subscription model. That's the investment in you. And I say to people, we've done it that way because we've brought it right down so that it's accessible to many people. Because I say, if you feel that foregoing your Chinese takeaway once a month is not a good investment in you, then you've got other work to do. Yeah. Do that. And there's loads of people in TWC. We can signpost you and stuff like that. So I think people need to understand that things that are out there, they need to invest in themselves. Because if we don't invest in ourselves, you know, if they don't listen to your podcast or come into TWC or anything like that, then actually they're just going to be in the same place, going over the hamster wheel. And that's why we did the 24-hour live stream. It's like, what can I do to give back to the community to support the Unite in Purpose campaign, but actually to give to other people out there to say, come on, we're gonna up the ante with regards to the campaign. Let's do it. And anyway, I've waffled on enough. Well, I do want to say, following up with that, and just because I know people are going to, if they're not watching now, they're going to watch later. When you talk about the investment thing, that is something that I went back and forth about my whole life. Yeah. I had major money mindset issues, and that's something I learned over this last year, that working on your money mindset issues are huge. I mean, we learn how to have a relationship with money when we're like 7 years old. Yeah. And so if we're going to the store and we're watching mom, you know, shuffle through her purse, trying to find change to pay for groceries, that immediately, directly, subconsciously creates a money mindset as a child. Yeah. So if you're growing up with a limiting belief around money, like I did, not even knowing it, the term money mindset, I wasn't even familiar with that until like 12 months ago. So, I mean, but thankfully I became aware of it and I looked into it and I took action. So when an opportunity came for me to be a part of a paid accountability group that was $112 a month, I'm looking at that like, you know, me being in a place where I've been through some things, and that's all in my podcast, but, you know, having to rebuild my credit and all these things, $112 is a lot of money. Yeah.
And even if you're not in a money situation, it's a lot of money. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm ready to make a change. I'm like you. I was ready for something different. And I realized all the free content out there wasn't working. And I'm telling you right now, even though I was in a money situation, I made it work. I made it work. We all find a way to make the things work that we want to make work. We find, hi, Marion, we make a way, like, think about it in our lifetime. And you can just take me and you, for example. Has there really ever been anything that you've wanted, Stephen, that you didn't get? I mean, really, no matter what your money situation was. And, exactly. I mean, I've managed to, I'm still working through my credit, and I managed to save really hard and stick to my guns and not go to Starbucks for a while so that I could go to the UK for 3 weeks and Scotland and England and float around and have a blast. I made that happen, and that's not easy to do. But I did the work to prepare for it because it was something that I really wanted to do. So when the opportunity came up for accountability, I was like, no, I'm ready to invest in myself. So it was $112 a month for 3 months. I decided I'm going to commit. I'm ready. I paid in full. I made it happen. I've scraped and I've made it happen. And I'm telling you, it's the best thing I ever did because I invested in myself. I took a chance and went against the grain of what my brain was saying. I don't have the money, or that's too much, or I really had to have a real talk with myself. And I'm so glad that I did, because it changed everything. When you put skin in the game, and I know people hear people say that all the time. When you put skin in the game, you're more than likely to show up. I mean, it's just fact. So 29 pounds is so worth it.
And what I said to people, and the way we've done it is keep it's that, so there is some skin in the game, the whole the Russell Brunson quote. But it's okay. So I've invested, so they're that more likely to do the work, show up and do the work. And there are other options if people want to. They can have a whole hand-holding, supporting, and it's a whole supported role. But if they want to go in, pull the information on a week-by-week basis, take action on it, then it's there for them. And I
challenge them. I challenge them when the next time, whether it's Tea with Steve or another group or something, I challenge whoever hears a price to pay close attention to their the way their body reacts and to what goes through their brain. I challenge them to do that, because people aren't taking into consideration that fear of success is very real. Again, because we talk about leaving people behind. We talk about what's that going to look like? Oh gosh, is that going to mean if I start stepping into my greatness, am I going to have to show up and start speaking in public? Like, am I going to have to buy fancier clothes? Am I going to have to, and it's this whole thing you go through in your brain, and you're creating scary scenarios in the blink of an eye. So challenge yourself when somebody presents you with a price on something, you guys, if you're listening, to pay close attention to how your body physiologically reacts to that, and pay attention to the things that come in your brain, because your brain does not want you to change. Your brain wants you to stay exactly as you are in the same little spot that you're in, because stepping outside of that is very scary for your brain. And it's certain death if you go into something new, certain death. So I challenge you guys, whether it's Tea with Steve or some other thing, just pay attention to that, jot it down, make a mental note, and just know that more than likely, if you're even contemplating a group like that and you even want to know the price, there's your answer. Deep down, you want to be in something like this. You're just scared to take the step. And so you really, as I said before, you have to outsmart your brain. You got to just say, nope, I'm in control now, damn it.
Absolutely. So where can everyone find out about your program that's going on and learn more about you?
Okay, so I made it easy. I am the Bliss Broker everywhere. I'm the Bliss Broker. I am at the Bliss Broker, Instagram, Twitter, Bliss Broker on LinkedIn. I'm Bliss Broker on Facebook. So I am facebook.com// the Bliss Broker. Super, super easy. blissbroker@gmail.com. Boom. And I'm also theblissbroker.com, which is my web address. And everything is there. And so for my new accountability group the applications opened up today, I'm not letting everybody in. I'm excited because I want people who are ready to do the work. So if you find yourself that somebody that is, have been working really hard on personal development, and you're right at the peak of that and you just can't seem to get over, that's where accountability comes in, and it works with Voxer. So people check in every day. It's for 60 days. Hi, Marion. Oh, I love her. I've been making friends with everybody from way over here in North Carolina. So it's just a support group. It's just all eyes on you. And as they've said, if you want to quit something in your life, or you want to start something new, or you're trying to accomplish a goal, tell as many people as you can. So that's essentially what's going on. And if they want to know more about that, that is on my website. There's a ton of videos on my Instagram. That's where I live. That's where I love to do my social media content. So I've been putting out videos every day on my IGTV. All of that is in my profile. The link directly to sign up for the application. It's a Google Doc. It's 10 questions. It's just a way for me to really see if you're ready to commit to change. And it ends, as I said, our 60 days together will end on my 45th birthday on 10/10/2020. So I'm very excited about helping people be accountable to whatever they want to change in their life.
There is some key numbers there. 10,
I
10,
know.
20, 20. It's all about the angels.
I know it. I didn't even plan it that way. I was like, holy, this is happening for a reason. Timing is everything.
100%. Oh, Harmony, it's been absolutely fantastic. I hope we get to see you again in a few minutes over on the sort of the
I'll be there. I'll be there.
After party.
I'll be there.
Thank you ever so much for your time and attention and your consistent showing up and action in the Tea with Steve group. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Stephen. I love you guys.
Awesome. See you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. We are almost 24 hours in, and what a fantastic episode there with Harmony. Harmony's, the way she rounded that up, guys, you are worth everything. So please, when you see something, you get that feeling, that sense, invest in you. Absolutely invest in you, because you are worth it. Okay, you are worth it. I've had these challenges in my past. It's like, it's a lot of money and this, that, and the other. If there's something out there, even if it, even if it is your favorite coffee and it's going to give you that moment, I'm saying coffee on Tea with Steve, who'd have thought it? If it's going to give you that favorite moment and you just need that time out and do it. If it's that book, what I do is, just to round this up for you guys, is I invest in myself every single month to take myself up a notch, a step. My income that I bring in, I put in 10% of everything I earn into an investment fund for myself, my own investment fund. It's like there's a thing called like the jam jar effect, and you put X amount of percentage in each level. Guys, go and do that. Invest in yourself. If you have a bad month, still make sure that you're investing in yourself. Your profits or your turnover might drop by 50%. That's fine. So then that 10% turns into 5%, and that's what you invest, because that's what you've earned that month. Make sure you're investing in yourself. Even if it's, I'm going to go out with my family and have a meal, then do that. But please Google the jam jar effect, and I will see you over on at the after party for the thank you party. Thank you ever so much. It's been an amazing, amazing journey. I've loved the last 24 hours, and all of the guests have brought some massive value, and all of the people showing up and watching and engaging have brought massive value to the comments and the guests and myself too. Thank you, my friends, and I will see you on the other side.